Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Watch out, that fish bit somebody earlier.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Tap it, if you would, Your Honor.
Yeah, but didn't you?
This is the plaintiff, Bruce Westcott. He says he bought what he thought was a real taxidermy sailfish from the defendant, and the fishy guy sold him a plastic toy instead. The defendant fooled him into thinking he caught the fish, sold him a fake, and he wants every penny of his $350 back. This is the defendant, Michael Tracy. He says the plaintiff came to his house, looked at the sailfish, and loved it and bought it immediately. The next day, the guy calls saying he wants his money back because it wasn't a real fish. Well, he never told him it was an actual fish. The piece spoke for itself when he came to see it, and if he wanted a real fish, he should have asked if it was real. Oh, no way. He's accused of telling a tall fish tale.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Have a seat, guys. Thanks. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Bruce Westcott?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
are suing Michael Tracy for $350 that you want returned to you, $250 that you paid for this sailfish, and $100 for wasting your time because it turns out it's made of plastic.
Correct, Your Honor.
Do tell. Go ahead. What happened?
Well, I first met Michael on online on a social media on May 28th, and we began discussing the purchase of the fish. And finally,
he was advertising it where?
He was advertising it on Facebook.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, the ad read that sailfish, not sailfish replica, sailfish that was $1,000 for sale for just $250 before he puts it on eBay.
Okay, let me see the advertisement. So go on.
I might add, prior to the purchase, he texted me through Facebook to indicate that a comparable fish of this type on eBay goes for $2,900.
Let me see that.
Certainly leading me, Your Honor, to believe that this isn't a plastic fish that you buy at a department store.
To be frank, they all look plastic to me.
Yes.
I mean, the real ones look plastic. They're always, I've
Watch
never
out,
felt.
that fish bit somebody earlier.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Tap it, if you would, Your Honor.
Yeah, but didn't you?
Well, at the time I picked up the fish and agreed to the $250 price, I met Mr. Tracy at what he alleged was his home, and as it turns out, he doesn't live there. But a little sidebar, Your Honor.
It just gets better and better.
He took the fish out of the truck. I handed the money. That's beautiful, Michael. I want it. Here's the cash. Thank you very much. And well, come on, guys. I want a picture.
You have to stay at the microphone.
Come on, guys. I want a picture of my. I want a picture of my baby.
My baby.
Take a picture with me of my baby. I'm going to miss him or miss her, or whatever he said. And I said to him, I said, where did you catch that? Where did you catch that fish? And he just ignored that and went on. Come on, take my picture. Take my picture.
Wow,
well,
sounds like he was ever so careful.
I was excited. It's a beautiful looking fish. So in any event,
when did you knock it and realize it was plastic?
He and his workers loaded it into the van.
You're telling me things that are not the answer to my question. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
Why are you so distracted that you don't see that it's plastic?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is this plaintiff stuck, or was he taken for a ride and get his money back?
I think he's stuck.
Why?
I think he should have done his research to be sure what he was buying if he questioned it. Kind of like when you buy a car, right?
Well, okay, but this, yeah, that's true. I mean, it did say sailfish for $250.
Yeah.
It did say sailfish.
Yeah, but it is a sailfish. He got a sailfish. It didn't say that it was
Well, it was a plastic sailfish. It was a little
but
different.
still a sailfish.
Oh, come on.
I think if it seems too good to be true, then it is too good to be true.
So is he stuck?
Yes.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
Well, I'm looking at it from a distance. You can't tell it's plastic from here, Your Honor.
They all look plastic to me.
Well, this is my first experience.
You said to me, knock on it, and I knocked on it. Why didn't you knock on it?
I never got a chance to touch the fish. I handed him the money, he did his photograph, and he and his friends loaded it into my van, slammed the doors,
So then
I went home.
Okay,
I got
and then
home
what'd you do?
And went to take the fish out and discovered this is nothing but a piece of fiberglass and plastic. 8 o'clock the next morning, Your Honor, I texted him and told him I don't want it. It's plastic.
And what did he say?
Basically, he told me, too bad, I never said it was a real fish. All he said was it was worth $1,000 to $2,900 comparable on eBay.
Mr. Tracy,
Good afternoon.
what happened?
Sort of what he said, but not exactly what he said. I don't know why you got to throw in that I don't live there. Of course, I live there. I got my guys meeting me there. They were my employees. We brought the fish over.
What do
He
you do
was
for a
there.
living?
I got a moving company.
Okay.
So we're pretty careful what we do. I brought it over nice. I had it padded up for him. He was there. I was happy. I love that thing. I really do. I think that's a great fish. I don't have the wall space for it, so I was going to keep it. I put it online, like he said. I didn't meet him online. I put it up online. He contacted me about it. He wanted to give me $150. I told him no, I wanted $250 for it because it's worth it. I did a job for a gentleman in town, Boston, who had that made. And he had it made for, I think he paid like around $950.
Really? You do? Because
no,
you're
he
telling him that it's comparable fish go for $2,900.
Oh, true. I saw them online. I did.
Okay.
I
You think
seen
those
ones-
might be actual sailfish?
Maybe.
Or you think a plastic sailfish
Maybe,
goes for
yeah,
$3,000?
maybe. I'll give you that. Maybe they were.
Will you give me
actual.
that? All right.
That's why I
so,
sold
and
it for $250.
when you advertise the thing as a sailfish,
Yeah. Yes.
is it a sailfish?
Sure. Look at it.
Or is it a plastic replica of a sailfish?
It's a plastic replica of a sailfish, but I just put sailfish on there. I didn't say
Right.
it was original. I didn't say anything other than what it was.
Well, that's
A
the rub, isn't
sailfish.
it?
Right.
I am in the position of deciding if you said
True.
what
Yeah.
it was.
Right.
Because if what you are is cagey and
No.
saying, comparable one goes for $2,900, which could only be a real fish. And did you
Right.
catch it? And your answer is, take a picture with my baby. I need to take a picture with my baby.
What?
Then maybe you thought you had hooked a chump, and what you hooked was not a chump, and you were the chump. Is that...
Hook, line, and sinker,
Well, no,
Your
but
Honor.
no, honestly.
Yeah, but
He drew me
I
right
love his
in.
answer. His answer is
No,
exactly.
but I mean, I'd rather you call him the chump than
see,
me,
here's
but-
the problem. The problem is that there has to be truth in advertising. That's this pesky little thing called the law that says that you cannot pretend to be selling a sailfish when what you're selling is a plastic replica of a sailfish. So it's on you that you called it a sailfish and that it wasn't. But you cannot get $100 for wasting your time unless I also get $100 for wasting my time. Because you are not 19 years old, okay? You're a grown man. How you do not establish, if you know that they go for thousands of dollars and you're getting it for $250, how do you not establish online with the answer when you're texting back at, why? Yeah, you should have known I was a thief? Why are you nodding?
Whoa,
He's bobbleheading over there like, yeah, exactly,
No,
serves
no,
you
no,
right.
but-
No, consider that an inexpensive lesson for you.
Correct.
To be more careful, okay?
Correct.
I'm ordering you to return the $250 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your
Jeez.
Honor.
Well, the good news is you got your baby back.
I got my baby back.
Right.
Yep.
And the bad news is you lost your case.
I did, yeah. I lost the case. I mean, she saw it that way. She just pretty much took what he had to say. And
Well, it's about the advertising, and it's the way you advertised it.
It wasn't. I wasn't trying to get over on anybody. I just advertised it the way I saw it. It was a sailfish, and that's it. I mean, it was only $250. I didn't charge him $2,900. So.
Right. Okay, so you got it back. What are you going to do with it now?
I'm not going to resell it, that's for sure. We'll just do something with it. We'll donate it. How's that? I'm going to donate it.
Sure.
All right?
All right.
Sure. Thanks.
All right, so step on in here, sir, and how do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm excited. I knew I was a winner from the beginning, but because of what the judge said, he advertised it as a sailfish, not a sailfish replica.
How did you get hooked into this in the first place?
Well, I got hooked in hook, line, and sinker, actually. I saw it on Facebook. I buy and sell things. I felt I could make $1 on it.
You don't touch the thing? You don't examine it? You don't?
In the excitement, well, see, I think that was part of the deception. He and his crew loaded it into my van. I never had the opportunity to touch it until I got home. Then I knew it was
You gonna miss
plastic.
the baby?
Not at all. I'm not taking my picture with it either.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, you know, the weird thing, had the plaintiff actually knocked on the sailfish and then realized it was plastic, then he would have lost. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become?
Senwa Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
This is the plaintiff, Jamie Mayall. She says she brought 5 chairs to the defendant to get them refinished and reupholstered. And that woman not only grossly overcharged her, she ruined her chairs. That's right. Turns out the defendant is a hack who has no business doing this kind of work. And she's suing her here and now for every penny of the $751 she's owed. This is the defendant, Jennifer P1. She says she did an excellent job on the plaintiff chairs, gave the woman an awesome price to boot, and now she's being sued? The plaintiff is an impatient, ungrateful woman, and she thinks she definitely has a good leg to stand on defending this lawsuit today. She's accused of shoddy chairmanship. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $550 for monies still owed.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff brought 5 chairs to the defendant to get refurbished and reupholstered. The defendant did an awful job, but the defendant says her job was A-OK. It's the case of my chairs aren't cherry.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Jamie Mayol.
Yes.
You are suing Jen's Custom Designs online furniture store, represented here by Jennifer P1. You're the owner? Okay, for $751 that you paid her, and you want to return to you because it was shoddy workmanship. You have a counterclaim against her for $550 because, according to you, she owes you more money for such great work. Okay, talk to me and tell me what's going on.
Hi, Your Honor. I came here today because I actually found her online, and she advertised herself as a upholsterer.
Do you have the online advertisement?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I took the chairs sometime in April. I think that was April the 14th, and she gave me a price. I took the chairs, and I received them that was June the 30th. So
2 months later. All right. And in the messages, she had said it would take 3 or 4 days.
That's
and
correct,
what were you
Your
having
Honor.
done to the chair?
She was supposed to paint them and actually reupholster them.
Okay. So as weeks and weeks are passing, what are you saying to her?
Well, I text her, like, you know, how the chair is coming along. And it was always, you know, a different story.
Like
you know,
what?
She's sick. She has personal problems, her kids. And
But when you dropped off the chairs, were you dropping them off to a business or a home?
At first, I thought it was like a business, but then she said it was her apartment. And I'm like, okay. So I actually ended up taking them. And I was like, well, hopefully.
I mean, when you went to somebody's apartment, you didn't say to yourself, wait a minute, this, you know, I thought I was hiring some big company. Why am I bringing him to somebody's?
Well, she was advertising herself, so I thought like she was starting off.
Okay, did she tell you I'm starting off?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and did she tell you how long she had been or what training she had or how she was going to know how to do this?
Well, I saw the pictures and I assumed she knew what she was doing.
How did you learn how to do upholstery work? By an apprenticeship, by working in that kind of business for years? How did you learn?
I saw myself on YouTube and I have a mentor.
Hold on one second. Your voice is gone because you just had surgery on your vocal cord.
I had surgery 6 months ago, yeah.
Why is your voice gone 6 months later?
I had part of my vocal cords removed.
Is that how it's going to be from now on?
6 months later, this is the highest.
Do they say that it's going to come back?
I'm getting speech therapy.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Now, how long had you been in this business? Your answer was, I taught myself. How did you teach yourself how to be an upholsterer?
Looking at YouTube.
At YouTube?
Yes, that's the first thing.
You learned how to be a furniture upholsterer, so we could all be furniture upholsterers. We could all say we're furniture upholsterers.
Talented, yes.
On YouTube, you learned how to upholster furniture and stain furniture. Did she tell you that when you were dropping off the chairs?
No, ma'am.
This was your first client?
She knew this. She would send me links.
Say that again?
She knew that she would send me links from YouTube.
She would send you links from YouTube, so she taught you how to be a furniture upholsterer? What did you? This was your first client?
No, this was my second.
Second client. Did you tell her that?
Yeah, she told me, you know, when she wanted the chairs refinished, what else have you done? And I showed her a table.
And that's it? Okay, and that's how you feel she should know that you're her second client, as opposed to that you only showed her one other example.
Never asked me.
I have a question for you. So after 2 months passed, what are you asking her during that time?
Due to her condition, when I called her by the phone, she could never, like, you know, I couldn't understand her. So it's just text exchange, pretty much.
And in the text, what is she saying? Sorry, personal problems, I have this problem, I have that problem?
I have 2 kids, I have personal problems, my dog is sick, I have to pick him up in a different state. It was every time a different story.
All right, so now that 2 months pass and you pick up the chairs, tell me the chatter between the two of you by text, or show it to me right before picking up the chairs. Because as I understand it from what I've read in those texts, she sends you a picture, and then she says, I still have work to do on them, and you say, I'll just take them like that.
Your Honor, at that point, I was desperate. I was sitting in a bench stool and crates in my house to eat. My dining room chairs were since April to June.
Yeah.
Every day a different story.
Show me the complaints. Come on around and show me what you're talking about.
That's the way it's dripping right here.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Right here, you can see it up right here.
All right, so I see here that it's just kind of missing.
Yes.
And was that missing when you picked it up? And it's all blotchy and kind of gobby, like a bad, like when a kid paints nail polish on, that it's too fat in some places, too thin in others.
I noticed that when I took it outside
here
into the sunlight. Then I saw
But is this how you picked it up? Why would you take it when it looked that way? You just didn't see it when you picked it up?
At that point, I confronted her. Well, I was with my aunt, and she said the weather's been bad. It's been humid, and I'm like,
if you're texting her that you're going to take 3 or 4 days to do this, then why is it 2 months later? I'm talking to you.
Because we started off with the wrong stain.
What does that mean?
Because there's stain for softwood and hardwood.
Well, why didn't you tell her that? Because you don't know what you're doing.
She's providing me.
No, because you don't know what you're doing because you're not an upholsterer. You're not a furniture, but that's what you held yourself out to be. Was there anything else about this?
All the chairs, Your Honor, are in the same conditions. The way she actually put on the cushion, there's one at home.
What about the way she put on the cushion?
It wasn't aligned the correct way. It shouldn't look that way.
Okay. What's wrong with this chair?
Your Honor, for that one, she didn't have to sand and paint. The day that I actually went to pick up this chair which was on July. She actually was gluing the cording. As you can see, look, it's coming apart, and you can see the actual staples, and in the back as well. And every time anyone sits, you get up and it's like paint over here.
Wait, what is this here? What happened there? It used to be gold and now it's not?
It faded, like in 2 days, it faded. And when you sit down, you actually get it like on your...
For the love of all that's holy. Are you seeing the things she's pointing out to me? Come on over, don't strain yourself. You're gonna talk over me when you can barely talk. Come over here and let me show you. You see the paint dripping there? Okay, that's atrocious. How is that okay? That's not okay, right?
That I was supposed to put a polishing machine through it to smooth it out.
Okay, well, you don't know what you're doing, sweetie. You don't know what you're doing. Maybe one day you'll be great at this, but you don't know what you're doing, and the woman wants her money back. What about this? Look how you can see all the glue and the staples there.
I was gluing this, she was downstairs, Your Honor.
Well, then maybe you should. If you tell somebody you can take 3 or 4 days, you shouldn't take 2 months.
No, I didn't tell her that. I have proof that I did not tell her that.
Oh, I have the text where you tell her that. You messaged her back saying it should take about 3 or 4 days to do the dining room chairs.
She asked me how long will it take. I said, honestly, I don't know. I have proof of that.
Okay. Well, so then your answer is, I didn't know how long it would take. I didn't know that we were using the wrong stain. I wasn't done in 2 months. I mean, it's not okay. All right, go ahead and go back. When you go to pick up the last of what you're picking up, according to you, you're surprised by the amount that was still owed?
Yes, it was like this was $120, and then she wanted to charge $280 for that.
So you were mad, and then what happened? What did you say to her?
You know, at that point, I was upset. I was with my aunt, and my aunt is like, listen, you had these chairs since April, and now it's July. You know, $150 seems reasonable. No, I don't want your money. So she just gave me the money. She shoved the money in my hand, and it was like tug of war. She holds the chair on one side, and I'm like, give me my chair. My aunt is there witnessing it, and I'm like, so you're taking my chair? This is my chair, my materials, you know. And she's like,
no, she kept on saying, no, you're going to pay my professional price. I'm a professional, and that's what you're going to pay.
And I told you don't bring your aunt here again. It's in the text if you know.
No, she did tell you don't bring your aunt here.
Yeah, because my aunt called her out on it, so she didn't like it. Right. So it was tug of war, and she slammed the door. When you bring back all my money, then you have your chick.
So what did you do? Did you go back with the rest of the money?
So does the defendant have a duty to say, hey, I learned this on YouTube, and you're just my second client?
Yes.
You have to say that?
Yes.
Why?
It's just part of, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, but that's the question. Do you have to say that?
I don't think so, but I think if she did a bad job, she should redo it or give her money back.
You wouldn't give the customer notice?
Not necessarily, because some people are really naturally talented. What if she's a born, gifted upholsterer?
What if she's a slacker?
That's true, which sounds like she was.
Boy, somebody should tell your boss to watch out for you going inside the courtroom.
I left her out, and I knocked on the door, and I paid her.
How much did you pay her?
The difference, I gave her the 2-something.
280?
Yeah, and...
So did they end up paying you the amount that you had demanded? Okay. In any event, putting all this to a side, let me tell you what I see. I see a job that needs to be redone. All of it. Because that one thing has the glue and the staples. That other thing has dripping paint. I see in the text that she said, they look great, I'll just pick them up. But if you're a professional, you don't let her pick them up. First of all, if you're a professional, you don't take 2 months. Second of all, if you're a professional and you don't text how you have personal problems and that's why you're not. Second of all, if you're a professional, it's done right when it's done. It's just done. And if it's not done right because you're applying the wrong stuff, then it's because you're not a professional. And how you would want to keep the money, how you would not say, I'm so sorry, it's my first job, I botched it, here's part of it, or try to settle this. How you would not only be incensed that there's a demand for payment, but counterclaim, because you're counterclaiming $550 even though you got paid exactly what you asked for. And your theory on that is what? Because that's what it should have cost, but you didn't charge? Because the way it was stated in the lawsuit was monies owed, but it's additional monies owed because you've decided that it is, you've decided you shouldn't charge double. I'm not even going to let you keep the stuff you did charge. So on your counterclaim against her, $0, and on her claim against you, I am going to order you to return the amount of the materials that she can prove, plus the $400 she paid you, $711.34. Look, everybody learns how to do something.
She didn't pay me $700.
No, she paid you $400, but she paid, because I see the receipts, for $311.
So I did all those chairs for free?
No, you ruined those chairs for
She
free.
didn't even let me
That's what
finish
you
them.
did. You don't seem to get it. I pointed it out to you. I thought you'd be a little more repentant. I pointed out to you what those look like. The fact that you wasted time doing something you don't know how to do is not something somebody else pays for. Verdict for the plaintiff, $711.34.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And so the judge rules that work by the professional wasn't very professional. I'll try to mic you very closely here to hear your reaction.
I think that I put a lot of work into those chairs, and she didn't even let me finish them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Reupholstering is a very difficult business. It's hard. This is your first job. I mean, are you telling us that you think this was your best work?
I think that if I would have finished the job, if I was allowed to finish the job, that it would have came out great, but I cannot hold her chairs hostage. She wanted to take them. I had to let her take them.
Okay. Are you getting more work and you're continuing on in this field?
I haven't done upholstery work after all this stress.
You haven't?
No.
Are you going to?
I think that if I keep, looking at YouTube, no.
Keep learning, right?
If I keep learning, I'm capable.
Okay. All right. Good luck. All right. So step in here. You satisfied how this comes out here?
I'm content that the judge actually saw the truth. It prevailed today. So thank you, Judge Milian.
Yeah. Reupholstering's tough. You do know it's a difficult profession. It's hard to do it right. Have you ever heard of you get what you pay for?
Yes, I've learned my lesson.
She has.
What's your lesson?
Good things don't come cheap.
Harvey?
Okay, when you perform a service for somebody, you have a duty to be professional. You don't have to disclose it's your second client, but you have to do it in a professional way, and if you don't, you're going to pay. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Gerald Hibbard. He says he was sitting in his 2010 Chevy Camaro as it went through the defendant's car wash, and he heard a loud pop. One of the brushes got caught in his bumper and ripped it up and backwards, denting it. The defendant's claiming he had the damage when he arrived at the car wash. But this is simply untrue, and he's here suing for the $1,700 he's owed. This is the defendant, Denny O'Hearn. He says he uses only hog's hair in his car wash, which is very soft and doesn't cause any damage. He has video of the plaintiff's car entering the car wash. His car wash didn't do any damage, and he simply owes this plaintiff nothing. He's accused of being all washed up.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's car wash did big damage to his Camaro, but the defendant says the brushes can't damage anything. It's the case of you gave me the brush off.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Hibbard, you are suing Suds Car Wash, represented here by Denny O'Hearn. You're the owner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For $1,700, the estimate to repair your bumper that you say was ruined at their car wash. Tell me what happened.
Yes, that's correct. What happened was the car was intact. I saw the video myself. Shows the car intact going in. As I was being pushed under the brushes and into the machinery.
Wait, explain to me what kind of car wash this is, how it looks, what happens. Do you just drive into it? And nobody's touching your car until you get into the conveyor belt?
No, his workers, they got the brushes and the brush handles, I might add. And then they have the buckets towards the floor.
Okay.
And as I was going through, I was being pushed through, I heard the pop.
Wait, I don't understand what push through means.
I was on the track.
Is this hold on, is this an automated car wash?
It's a conveyor. So his car would be in neutral, and it gets pushed through the car wash by a conveyor that is pushing his wheel.
Well, that's guiding it through. But then you have real people cleaning it?
I have real people that, at that stage, before it enters the actual car wash, I have workers that are prepping the car.
Okay. All right. So when do you notice that something has gone wrong, according to you?
It was a very busy day. The workers are rushing, and they're soaping the car as it goes through. And I was in at least towards the tail of the car, and I heard the pop. I felt it in the car.
You were what?
I heard a pop.
No, before that you said what? I was what?
I was on the track. I was being pushed through into the
Right.
machinery. The workers were still using the brushes
On
to
the
open up the
tail
tail
of
of
the
the car.
Okay.
Exactly. So I was going in as they were working. As I was going in, you know, I got in far enough. When I heard this pop, and I felt it in the car. I couldn't step out. I can't step out into the middle of the car wash and the machinery. So when my car exited, it was off the conveyor. I pulled out. I inspected my car, and I found the damage.
Okay, do you have a picture of the damage?
Yes, I have several.
May I see it?
There was also no signs, and I have pictures
No
of the front
signs of what?
I have pictures of the front of the establishment
There were no signs at what?
that say that I accept any liability because of the machinery and the workers. There's another one.
I wouldn't go to a place that had a sign like that. Why, do most car washes have signs like that?
Yes, they do. And I do.
Oh, and you do too? Really?
That's the wheel well, Your Honor. And I'm saying that one of the workers turned to go towards the buckets. He got the handle underneath the wheel well, underneath that clip, and he popped it out. And that's what caused it to bend back.
Your theory is that the handle, not the brush.
Exactly.
Let me see. You said you had a video. By the way,
Yes.
what did you do when you got out?
I got out, I saw the damage, and I said, that's what I heard. And I went and I spoke to a worker, gave me his phone number, and I waited for him.
Okay.
I told him, he argued with me, he showed me the video, I saw the video myself, and the car is intact on his premises.
Okay. All right, let's see the
Before
video.
going in, I was shown no video going out.
No video going out. You only video the going in part?
But that's where he's claiming the damage was done.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the context of this video is it shows the guys prepping, and it also shows the guys brushing the car. And when you're brushing the car, there's a fluid motion that goes on as they go through the whole car.
Okay, let's see the video.
And it also the motion continues throughout the video. So there's no, if he were to do some damage, he would have stopped because he would have felt the damage, but he continues to.
Well, he might not stop if he's brushed.
Well, you'll see the fluid motion continue.
Hold on. Let's see the video.
So the guy in the orange hat is the worker who is going to, when he realizes that the car has the brake on, he tells the plaintiff to put it in neutral. But you'll see how the rear wheel bumps up. See how it bumped up and went down?
Yep.
That was him. That makes a very loud metallic sound, like a bumping sound. And now they're brushing. And you'll see that the guy with the orange hat's going to come back into screen. He's brushing.
But Your Honor.
Hold on.
That's his brush. Now he's approaching, and that's where the damage is, and he continues to brush, and he keeps going.
And then he's out of my view.
And then he comes back around.
Completely out of my
now he comes back in view. It's the same guy. Did you see his?
Can you start it again? It's very hard. It's so grainy. It's kind of hard to see whether the bumper is hanging or not hanging right there.
But you can't tell that.
Can you just come on right on up here? And place a computer here. All right, can you rewind it to the very beginning?
You ready?
Yeah.
That's where the noise comes from. It's a very loud noise when that roller gets forced.
It's utterly impossible to tell whether the damage is there previously or not based on the grainy nature of this video.
And his claim is that the brush caused the damage, but you can see...
He doesn't know. He just knows that he says, I didn't have it when I walked in, I have it now. He has a theory, but that doesn't mean that's...
But he's been very specific about saying he heard a noise, and he's very specific about saying that the brush did the damage. And my point is, you can see from there the brush did not. It's a smooth...
With all due respect, I love having video. I don't always have video. So I'm happy to have video. Right. I wish, if I was a videographer, I would have taken the camera and put it like that, and then I would like to see the very ending of the brushing. But
you do see the very ending because you see the brush go right over the spot that he's saying was damaged by the brush. In fact,
do I? Here, show me where. Yeah, hold on. In
fact, the brush doesn't even fit. He was saying the brush went underneath the wheel well. The brush doesn't fit.
No, he was saying the handle did.
Okay, well then the handle certainly didn't go under there because you can see that. Okay,
how can I see that?
Play forward, I'll show you.
Car's moving, so now it's starting to get out of my field of vision.
Yeah, and he's brushing the front.
I can't see the guy with the orange hat at all, but he's in the front of the car.
Yeah, you'll see him brushing right there. That's the brush. That's him doing it. Right. He'll come in, and it's the same guy, and there's the spot. That's where he says it happened, and that's all you see is the
what did he do right there, right now, right there?
He's still brushing. He's still brushing.
Did he re-soak?
Nope. It's a continual motion because the car's he doesn't have time to re-soak. He's got
that
to keep...
guy did. That guy stuck his brush back in his
because
soap.
his soap container happened to be there. But anyway, there it is. And the brushing is a continuous, smooth motion.
Okay, I need you, how can I put this on pause right here?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, got it,
And that's
thank
also-
you. So let me go ahead and have you go back. And then, Mr. Hibbard, do you want to come forward and view this tape with me here so that we can...
So do you think car washes are sitting ducks for shady customers that drive in with pre-existing damage and then blame it on the car wash?
I think it's very possible. I think a lot of people could use that.
Do you ever consider that? Do you ever think about that customers do this?
I personally don't, but it's definitely possible.
Do you ever think about this? You ever think about that happening?
It's happened to my car.
Where the car wash damaged it?
Yes.
Okay, but...
I can see where somebody could take advantage of that if they wanted to.
Fair enough. I was about to accuse somebody, but I just couldn't pull it off going inside the courtroom.
It's very grainy. It's hard for me to see. Do you want to point out something that tells me, because you testified, very confidently that you can see it's intact when it comes in. I am not seeing it because it's so grainy. I can't see one way or the other. But do you want to direct my attention to something there? Because
The wheel well back here connects with that bumper.
I don't see
I'll
that
show
from
you.
that picture.
I can show you in the picture, because if that damage was existing, you would see a protruding line.
I can't see squat in this thing because the quality is so bad. It's all blurry in that whole section.
I'm saying that...
I know what you're saying. Okay, so the guy, here's a guy, orange hat guy is here. Now, he's going through here. He's got the soap. He's got the brush. He's there. He's at that spot we've talked about, and there's only brush, there's no handle. When did he stick a handle in there? Because he's on a separate part of the car, see? And now his brush is right there. His brush is there. His brush is in the back. He's not going to go back and do your
But
wheel
this is
well.
when I heard the pop. He keeps telling the court. He's telling the court when I heard it, when I felt it. I heard it and felt it when I was going through the machinery, just as they were finishing the tail of the car. He's telling the court what I heard.
Go ahead and go back to the lectern, please. Do you, you can take that back.
Your Honor, there's something else I would like to add.
Yeah.
Defendant, he's attacked my character and saying I'm trying to file a false claim. I have another notarized signature. I worked an overnight shift, and I got off at 7:30 in the morning. I got some sleep, and I was on my way to pick up a friend at 12 o'clock to keep a 2 o'clock appointment in New Jersey, of which we wound up getting there at 4 o'clock because of this. My point is, my motive that day is to go pick up a friend. I stopped in the car wash. I was pressed for time to pick up a friend.
I know what you're saying.
There's no motive of any wrongdoing here.
No, the one thing, I'm not sure about a lot of things, but I am sure that you did not go there to try to scam to get him to fix a car that you knew was broken. That I'm very clear on. Okay, the only question is, can you prove that this damage occurred there, or that the other option 3 is that it occurred elsewhere, but you noticed it there. That is option 3, that you didn't notice this and then you notice it, there. That's option 3.
That car is in its own private spot. I don't take it to work. It really doesn't go anywhere except shows, or maybe on the weekends or something like that. Really, it's not driven much at all.
Shows?
Car shows, cruises, things like that.
2010 Camaro?
Yes. I have a picture of it. The entire car here.
When was the picture taken?
The damage is still there. That picture was taken maybe about a month ago.
Oh, let me see that. Is the damage still there in this picture?
Yes, it is now as well.
Okay, now, do you get what I was trying to say to you? That from when you step away from the car, it's very hard to see that? So are you telling me that I should be able to see in the video that the damage, because right now, this photographer is stepped away, what, 4 feet, 5 feet from the car, and you cannot see the damage.
It's much.
So when you zoom in, of course, and it's helpful that you zoom in so I can see what we're talking about, but you have to take one from behind so that I can figure out whether I can see from this video that you walked in damage or you didn't walk in damage, so that I can see whether it's likely to notice the damage, or could it be that the damage was there and you hadn't noticed it. All those things are important. That's why I wanted a back picture, and you just provided it to me. How did you win a trophy with the damaged car?
Look what I was parked next to, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, this is a close one, but I can't I can't shift the burden to him to prove he didn't do it. The burden is on the plaintiff to prove it happened. And that video does not and could not show it intact. And that video, if it does anything, is help them and show the brush motion. And even though there is a couple of second gap from the guy's motion, I can tell what part of the car he was still on, because within a nanosecond, I see the brush again. And I know the guy's not thorough enough to do the same stuff twice, because it's an assembly line and he's moving along. And I just don't see it. I don't think you've proven your case, and my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
The gavel comes down on the wrong side for the plaintiff here. Step out here, unable to prove your case. What's your reaction to this?
Well, it's more about what's wrong and right, and about how to handle yourself in conducting business with customers. I should not have lost today, but he'll see. And I hope people are aware in the neighborhood. It's my neighborhood. Well, they're aware that how he handles things when he damages a vehicle.
All right. Well, you can see, though, that the proof wasn't quite there in the video. Not enough to bring down the gavel on your side.
No, they never inspected the car beforehand. There's nothing that states liability on my behalf. And my car was intact before I went in.
All right.
Great.
All right, so he had the burden of proof and couldn't carry it. What's your feeling here?
I think it was a fair verdict.
Yeah. Now, do you inspect these cars on the way in and note any damage, if there is any?
Generally speaking, yeah. I mean, and the damage that he was talking about, if it was separated a little bit, we see that's a common thing with a lot of bumpers. So if it was, I don't remember this specific car, if it was there, but you do see that.
All right.
If it's falling off, if it's hanging, then we tell the customer.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, we've talked about evidence a lot before here. In this case, I got to tell you, the key to this case, and a lot of these cases, pictures. And especially if you have a time issue, pictures before you brought it in and pictures after they washed the car.